So, welcome to today's tutorial. We're going to be downloading Unity and setting it up today. So, let's put into Google Unity and and then we're going to scroll down to start the Unity download page here. And once that's loaded, we should see the screen and just scroll down to the bottom where you should see create with Unity of these steps. So, if you should download just Unity for whichever thing you've got, Windows, Mac or Linux. So I'm just going to click here. And I'm actually going to cancel that because I already have Unity, so I don't need that. Then you should see a setup wizard, which you just fill in, and after that you should download, a Unity Hub should download. So now we go into Unity Hub, and in there, let us just go down to installs, and there you should see install editor, which you should just click and just select the most recent version. Yeah, and that will download Unity. So once it's downloaded, just go over there and go to new project and select 3D, which should already be downloaded because it's a basic one. And then rename project whatever you like. I'm gonna call this tutorial game and create project. And this should take a minute or so just to download project completely. And there you go. When you open this, it should be like this. Center there's the scene, left hierarchy, inspector, and the project console. So in your scene, you should see a main camera and a directional light. These are basics for all the scenes and always there. And as you can see, when you click on them in the inspector, settings pop up, and you can fiddle around with those settings. But don't do that. Just leave them as they are. Okay. Now at the bottom there's project, which is basically where you store like all your assets, which are the things which you use in your scene, like models. The scene is like an area, could be described as kind of level in the game. We're just going to rename ours game because it makes it easier. There you go. So, going to create ourselves a plane, and we're going to make the dimensions 3. A plane doesn't have a Y. It's a one-sided object. That's why the Y doesn't do anything, unlike a cube. As you can see, we can move around with the different tools, and also if you click Alt, you can orbit, which is a useful tool. Then there's move, rotate, next one scale, then there's like also kind of scaling, which is, but you can do both dimensions for this kind of scale. And then there's this tool which basically can do everything, so that's kind of useful. And now we've familiar ourselves with the tool, let's just make a cube. And oh wait, it's off center. Just set it to 0, 0, 0 if it's not. But then just lift it up a bit so it's not submerged in the plane, because that's not good. And there we go, we've got our cube floating above our plane. Very basic. And then we're going to make ourselves a material. So just right click and create material, should be there somewhere. And let's create a folder for all materials. And we're gonna rename this material green and drag it into a folder which we're gonna rename materials. Just make it simple to find our way through the editor, because sometimes it can get a bit like hard to navigate through all the different names. So if you signpost it clearly. Let's make another material. We're going to make this one grass to make it even simpler, and we're just going to change it so it's green. And drag it into our scene, and there we go. Whatever object we drag it onto, it becomes that, which is quite cool. And then just make the layer the same, just orange, let's say. Actually, let's give it quite a metallic thing, because that looks quite cool. And there we go. We have a orange cube above a green plane of grass. And that is the end of today's tutorial. But quickly, we're going to use the camera by going into the game tab. And there you go, that's the basic part of our tutorial. Next video will be covering playing player controller, so see you then.